Good afternoon, everyone.
Okay, we have time. Please.
Yeah, my name is Uchenna from TU Dublin, and I'll be presenting on barriers to BIM implementation for cost management in the Irish construction industry. And just as a quick one, I will just go through the introduction, the statement of the problem, the research objective, down to the conclusion. Just as we all know, building information modeling is a holistic process of creating and managing information for the built assets. It flows through four major phases of construction, from the initiation, project conceptualization, planning, down to design, construction, and the operation of the built environment. And that is the process of BIM. And at every stage of this BIM process, there is a cost management responsibility of a cost manager or quantity surveyors, which they have to undertake at each stage of that construction of the BIM process. At the initiation stage, we have to do the feasibility analysis, the preliminary cost estimating, cost advising, and during the design, of course, we do the cost planning, we do the cost checking, detailed estimate, tender documentation, and during the construction, we have to do the cost control, valuation of variations, advice on claims, final accounts, and as well during the operation of the built assets, there will be cost analysis of the built asset, of course, budgeting for maintenance and budget control as well. So in every stage of BIM process, there is a cost management activity to be delivered by the quantity surveyor. So it simply means that the quantity surveyors are relevant all around the BIM process. And there are various BIM softwares that are currently being used in the industry. We have the i2cos X, the Autodex, Revit. We have as well the Synchro, the Cybe, the Qubit, Navisworks. There's so many of them currently in the market. All right? So just like the previous presenter said, and when we were having the conference, someone also said something that the QS are relatively a little bit behind in terms of embracing the adoption of BIM. I must say that we are not actually left behind, but the problem is that we need to do more work in adopting the use of BIM to do our work as QS. In Ireland, BIM is really gaining ground. You know, there are basic areas where BIM has been used to do some major projects in Ireland, and government initiative and mandates are actually driving the force. Like we already have the National BIM Council, and the BIM mandate, hopefully by early next year, it is expected that BIM will be mandated to be used in virtually all public infrastructural projects in Ireland. And also through industrial collaboration and standards, such as the BIM Innovative Capability Programs, being sponsored by the Enterprise Ireland, the BIM Excellence Initiative, ISO 19650 is also being well known currently in Ireland. Then the introduction of International Construction Measurement Standards, ICMS, is also going to be a very big boost in adopting BIM for cost management, and also a great rules of measurement 5th edition, when introduced, definitely will incorporate BIM in the process as well. BIM education and training as well is another way of educating the professionals and the young champs in the industry to adopt and implement the use of BIM. Like what the CISF is doing, the CitA programs also is doing wonderfully well. And in most universities and colleges, like what the earlier presenter said, there is already courses whereby they adopt BIM softwares to teach students. All right. In Ireland, there are relatively few projects that have also utilized BIM in delivering their projects, like the New Children's Hospital in Dublin, the M11 motorway, and also Dublin Airport Central Development, all utilized BIM in delivering their projects. But the problem there is, in 2019, actually, CitA conducted a survey as a BIM survey in 2019, and they also identified 10 major barriers that is actually hindering the adoption and implementation of BIM in Ireland. which the top barriers are those ones I highlighted over here: lack of in-house expertise, not clear demand, lack of training, and all that. And there's a comparison between Ireland and UK. Just as we can see, in Ireland, lack of in-house expertise is relatively higher in Ireland compared to UK. The same way you can see in other barriers as well, the comparison, all right? So the aim of this research is to check these barriers, to see if they are actually still existing in Ireland, and if they are existing, which one are more prominent, and how do we tackle those barriers to ensure that BIM is adopted specifically for cost management of construction projects. So the research was a quantitative one, whereby we developed an online 5-point Likert scale survey, which was designed and administered to construction professionals in Republic of Ireland. And the data was actually analyzed using descriptive statistics and severity index statistics to see which of those barriers actually have more impact in the adoption of BIM for cost management. So we have the respondents, majority of the respondents are quantity surveyors, though working in different sectors. And out of these respondents, we can see that majority of them still believe that they are still facing some kind of impediment. They're still facing some kind of challenges in the adoption and the use of BIM for cost management. And we also have, among the respondents, that majority of the softwares that even the cost managers and the quantity surveyors in different sectors are maybe the ones they actually know is just within Revit and Navisworks. So majority of them rarely use the core quantity surveying softwares to deliver their projects, right? So if you can see here, we have the Qubit, we have the I2 Cos X. Yes, some of them still use that, but we can still see that a good number of them still say that they don't use any of these softwares in the industry to deliver cost management related activities. And majority of the softwares that they use, the Revit and Navisworks, they have limited cost management functionalities to deliver, all right? So when we analyzed the barriers which the cost managers or the quantity surveyors face in the Irish construction industry, we saw that most of them still believe that we still need to create more awareness for quantity surveyors to adopt the use of BIM and these BIM softwares. Most of them are still, even though they may know about them, but they may not know how to use them exactly. And the second barrier, which is ranked second, is resistance to change. We still have quantity surveyors that still want to continue in the traditional way. As it has been right from the beginning, we want to continue that way. It is just something that maybe they are not ready to transit from the old method to the current digital transition. So these are the major barriers that we have that is hindering the adoption and implementation of BIM for cost management in Ireland, and they are ranked, and there are 13 of them from 1 to 13. All right. So to address these barriers will actually require a concerted effort from the industry stakeholders, the government, and educational institutions to promote the awareness, to ensure that much training and education to quantity surveyors and other key professionals are being delivered. CitA is doing a great job, and as well CIF also doing a great job. The Chartered Surveyors of Society of Ireland also doing a great job, but the reward for every good work is more work. So we need to do more work in terms of training the quantity surveyors to adopt and use these softwares, to deliver their duties in Ireland. And most importantly, develop standardization and address legal and contractual implications of introducing BIM into traditional contract settings. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.